first of all, I want to thank the CSE for providing us this platform to be able to have conversations with gents like yourself within the cannabis industry, as well as other sectors. But we are here this week for Volume 3 of Cannabis Week, brought to you by the Canadian Securities Exchange. This was something that started off for a week and has carried on into the month of 5/20. So we're happy that we were able to get a little bit of time from you to come on and chat with us. For anybody watching, we will leave the comments on for now. So if you do have a question, feel free to type it in there. There's also a comment section, a comment box that you can submit your stuff in. At the end of our chat, I'll make sure to go through those. And if we have time, we'll hopefully have Carl answer them. So Carl, welcome.
Hey, thank you very much. I really appreciate being here.
Of course, no, we're happy to have you, and you know, we've connected over the last year a couple of times. I think the first time we got together was the NCIA conference in San Jose, and then we ended off the year with MJ Biz in Vegas. And
MJ Biz was a major show. That was great.
Show. It was huge, and now we're come this far into COVID.
I know it's been a crazy time. Like at Vegas, if you asked me that, you know, the whole country or the world would be on lockdown like this, you know, it would be like a movie script. I feel like I'm operating in a movie script sometimes.
It sure feels like it, Independence Day or one of those blockbuster flicks that are out there that deal with topics like this. So why don't we start off? I'm going to let you, there might be some people that are still joining and they're coming in late. So I'm here with the founder and CEO of Hollister Cannabis, is Mr. Carl Sailing. Why don't you start off by give us a little bit of background into Hollister for people that might not know about the company?
Sure. So I started Hollister Cannabis Co. with my wife, Amasa, back in, you know, really the journey in cannabis started in 2014, but we ended up forming Hollister Cannabis Co. in 2017. We were early here in Hollister to be able to impact the regulations and worked with the city and the county on all of that, you know, laying the groundwork because they had none here yet. And consequently and luckily, you know, we were able to be the first licensed company here in California, in Hollister, California, which is great for us. Hollister is a very important city for us. You know, we're big on community support. You know, something that we've done during this COVID pandemic is started making hand sanitizer and just handing it out to the community. You know, so we'd be giving it to the homeless shelter, food banks, the county, the city. And it has our cannabis logo on it. So every city department has a little bottle of hand sanitizer with our cannabis logo on it.
Whether they want to smoke or partake in cannabis or not. I think that's a real great initiative. I mean, obviously there's no cost. You guys are giving back to the community and most importantly, building brand awareness within the community. I think that's a big portion of it.
Yeah, you know, but it's also, you know, the traditional cannabis community, we're all about giving. We're all about giving back, helping people. I mean, that's why we're in this business. Yes, money is important, obviously, but it's really to make an impact on people's lives. And you know, everything that we're doing really leads towards that.
Absolutely. So you guys have products in over 220 dispensaries in California. That's a huge accomplishment.
So thank you very much. And that's actually really keen to our partner, Indus Holdings or Indus Distribution. They're another publicly traded company on the CSE based in Salinas, and they are our distribution partner. So we've partnered really closely with them on many facets, more than just distribution. And you know, their sales reps are out there repping our products every single day. They've done a great job. They continue to do a great job, and they're an integral part of our California plan.
What went into achieving something like that? Like that whole partnership with Indus and, you know, kind of coming about that?
It's really about building relationships. In this industry, you really can't survive on your own. You have to have really high quality relationships with companies that are on the same path that you are and have the same ethos, you know, and it just definitely does.
Yeah. No, that's great. I wanted to kind of get that out there for people that might not know that you guys have such a large footprint in California. Let's talk about your HashBone. That's one of your products.
Yes. HashBone is one of our top-selling SKUs. Basically, it's a bubble hash infused pre-roll. Okay. For people that don't know what bubble hash is basically extracted from cannabis using water and ice. So you kind of freeze they're called trichomes. I don't want to get too technical for people, but they're called trichomes. Basically freeze them, they get knocked off. We harvest that and then put that into pre-rolls and also individual gram jars. So it's totally solvent-free, amazing, and it enhances the flavor of the pre-roll. So it not only enhances the potency, there's extra terpenes that are in there that enhance the flavor. And I personally love it. I smoke it every night. So I am one of those rare public CEOs that freely admits to using cannabis.
Got it. Well, no, I remember, I think it was in San Jose when we were all together. You had a couple of those samples, and there was quite a bunch of people talking about the HashBone. It was almost the talk of that conference, and so I've seen online as well how much interest you guys get for it. There's different flavors and stuff like that, strains that it comes with.
Yeah, so it's almost like pairing wine with a great meal. So we're pairing different strains with different strains of bubble hash, combining them together to make a flavor sensation, I call it.
Interesting.
In addition, we have several different SKUs now. So we have our traditional HashBone, which is a 1 gram pre-roll infused with bubble hash. We have our HashBone Mini, which is a 5-pack of half-gram hash bones, which is great for the new social distancing we all have to do. So I call it the new social essential sharing. We have another version that's about to be released. That's called a HashBone Wolfie, and that is a HashBone with full spectrum oil coated on the outside and then rolled again in hash. Pretty intense.
It just keeps getting better and bigger.
It just keeps getting better and bigger. Yes.
What are some of your other products? Because you guys.
Yeah. So we have. We have gram
products. So sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah. No, it's good. So here in California, we have gram, the bubble hash. We have regular pre-rolls. We have our hash infused pre-rolls. We also do a line of tinctures. So probably in like 3 or 4 days, I'd say by Monday, we'll have Tommy Chong's full spectrum elixir released into the marketplace. Super excited about that.
Yeah, I was going to say Tommy Chong, that's a big name for the cannabis space.
That's a big name for the cannabis space. We're looking forward to really hitting that out of the park for him, as well as increasing the different SKUs that we offer under Tommy's brand.
Talk to us about this relationship with Tommy Chong and his brand.
Yeah, so, Tommy's all about, really high quality cannabis and high quality products. Cannabis has really saved his life. He had a couple of bouts with cancer and has come successfully through that, and cannabis is part of his daily regimen. So, what better brand ambassador to have, in the cannabis space as someone that's synonymous with cannabis just from Cheech and Chong,
yeah,
but then also who's physically been able to, heal himself with that. So I just think that's amazing. And we want to get that message out as far and wide as we can.
That's interesting. So a little fun fact, Tommy Chong's actually a native of Vancouver.
Awesome.
And that's where I'm at. Where are you right now, by the way?
I'm actually sitting in our facility in Hollister, California. Luckily, we were deemed an essential business. So I've been able to keep our entire staff working, doing all the social distancing protocols. We have a pretty large facility, so we're able to do that pretty easily. 4 or 5 cleanings a day. Everybody's got hand sanitizer and all the different things. We made sure that early on we were training our employees, making sure they're okay. If they wanted to shelter at home, we would support that and facilitate that in any way that we can.
Now, I want to get into, this pandemic, COVID situation, team morale, working across different states, but we'll get into that into just a sec because I don't want to throw off the flow. So we've been talking about, the different brands, products, your partnership with Tommy Chong. the launch of the new brand. I wanted to talk about, you guys also offer white labeling. How does that tie in with
Yeah, so we do a lot of white labeling for several companies throughout California, and we focus a lot on making pre-rolls, infused pre-rolls, capsules, and tinctures. That's where our, we'll say, our area of expertise is right now. So we do a really good job with that. So there's several well-known companies, that we make pretty much all their pre-rolls for. And that's been a good way to generate revenue, while we're building our regular business, selling to the different dispensaries.
There's a number of questions that have come in from the audience members, which I will get to towards the end, but I've noticed a lot of them have to do with venom extracts. So that is an acquisition from Arizona, correct?
Correct. Yeah, that's an awesome acquisition that we did. It's fully closed, fully absorbed into our business, operating full speed ahead. Arizona is kind of an anomaly in the industry, it seems. That state, for the existing operators, they can't keep up. It's blown up. It's kind of crazy. It's a little different here in California, and especially Nevada. It's been hit harder. So very excited about Venom. There's a great team there. They're crushing it. And the next step is we're going to bring Venom to California.
That's right.
So, I mean, and it makes the most sense if you look at it, because in California, we have the facility. We have all the licensing that we need. We have the distribution, and we have the customers already. Going to any other state, it's a whole new market for us. So it just makes sense to come to California, and then we're going to crush California with Venom, and then look to move to other states. Yeah. Now, we had Nevada in our sights. That was definitely going to be one of the next spots to go to, and it still very well could be. But if you look at the data, COVID hit Nevada the hardest. I mean, they're down like 50%.
Wow.
I don't know how long that's going to take them to recover, to get back to any sense of normalcy where it would make sense for us to invest into a brand new market for us versus doubling down on Arizona and California right now, where we have strong positions. It only makes sense to do that. So that's what we're doing.
It's a smart strategy, in my opinion, anyways. Like you said, they're down about 50% or close to that right now. So it is going to take a little bit of momentum to get that going again. I know the mayor and the city of Las Vegas has been trying to kind of get that ball rolling again, but I imagine it's going to take time for even consumers to build that confidence again to be able to go into a place that big.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to take consumers to go back to regular restaurants, right? So, I mean, how can you imagine going into a massively crowded casino?
Absolutely.
I mean, how many panic attacks will there be?
And it's not even just the casino. It's going into this massive casino with people from all over the world in one place.
I know. I think I caught COVID already at the Vegas show.
Don't say that. I hope.
No, I'm joking, but I mean, everybody seemed to come back with some weird, MJ BizCon cold.
Well, Carl, we finished MJ Biz in early December. We came back home. We had the Lift Expo here in Vancouver in early January. We had a thing called the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference here, same month, January, in Vancouver. Then we went to Toronto for the PDAC conference. I had about 25,000 people there. And then when we got back...
You were exposed to everything.
When we got back, there was news about one attendee testing positive. And right away, everything got shut down. So for us, we've been working virtually since March the 10th is when we were told to go home and work.
Wow.
So I want to jump back into California.
Sure.
You mentioned that you guys are kind of staying focused in there, into that region. You mentioned offline, you mentioned a little bit about getting into the delivery, cannabis delivery in California. You want to talk to our audience about that?
Yeah, great question. So, to change consumer behavior, it usually takes a lot of time and a lot of money. COVID-19 seemingly has done that overnight. Consumer buying habits are totally changed now. Anybody that was a holdout from shopping online and getting, your goods and services delivered to you that way, you've been forced to do that now. So delivery has always been in our plans. I started in this industry in delivery. And we've just been waiting for the right time, and now is the right time to capitalize on what's happening. I mean, because again, consumer buying habits are changed, and the delivery means so much more now.
I think this whole learning lesson is what I'm going to call it through this pandemic has accelerated that whole process of delivery coming to market a lot sooner, because I know there was a few groups that were trying to get that going, but there was a lot of pushback against cannabis deliveries and stuff. But you're absolutely right that, you know, consumer habits have changed, so we have to kind of adjust and keep up with that.
Right, and the landscape in California, you know, the current delivery laws allow us to deliver, you know, through the entire state, no matter if that city or county has banned, you know, traditional cannabis businesses. So in some areas, delivery has a leg up against a dispensary, you know, because I think it's 75 or 80% of California still bans cannabis in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
So it's kind of a challenge, you know, to get to some of the areas and to some of the people that actually need cannabis. And, you know, I think we're going to do a really good job. I've got some cool stuff that I really can't talk about until I can announce it, but it'll blow your mind.
Well, I would definitely suggest our audience, if you are interested, well, if you're here watching, you're obviously interested, I'd suggest you follow Hollister on social media or their LinkedIn, and kind of keep up with some of the stuff that they are working on and will be announcing soon enough. So let's talk about this work from home period. So we went through Vegas, we went through all the stuff that's happened. Working from home, how have you adjusted to that?
Well, as you can see, I'm not actually at home. So
yeah.
we've been lucky. So we have a really large facility. Our business was deemed essential, so everybody stayed working. I have another admin office, and I sent everybody else home there except for me, so I can work here. So everybody else worked at home. I stayed in the office, and now our county has started to open up slowly. Yeah. So we're all able to be at work. So we're not actually working from home anymore.
Got it. So it's slowly coming back into normalcy.
Yeah. And you know what's strange? You know, while everybody was sheltering in place and working from home, it seems like we were working double, which is okay. I'm grateful that we can work. It's just, there wasn't a shelter in place for us.
So do you think that during that time, your leadership style, did you have to change and adjust that? And what did you do to maintain morale for your team?
Yeah, I'm a man of action. That's kind of how I like to describe myself. So I immediately started taking action, started talking to our staff, training our staff, asking them how they're doing. Like, you know, how are you doing with all this? Like, are you struggling with anything? You're trying to really, you know, be present for my staff. My leadership style hasn't changed. I'm still the same guy. I'm still aggressive and going for it. So, yeah, this just makes me even more resolved to win, to make it happen. You know, nothing's going to get in our way, especially a pandemic.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Carl, I want to get your opinion on the cannabis industry as a whole going through this pandemic. How did it affect certain businesses, certain aspects of the cannabis industry? Are you able to maybe give us some insight into that as an insider?
Yeah, I think it's impacted the cannabis industry in different ways in different areas. You know, if you look at California, and what's strange, and it's actually because the way the regulations are set up, different counties had different rules. Like San Jose shut down their dispensaries for any recreational, and you can only do medical pickup. Here in our county, it was all essential, and the one dispensary never shut down. They still served everybody. And then in like Berkeley, shut down. So it's been different for everybody, which makes it hard, you know, because there's no kind of way to operate. Yeah. So from in California, you know, it exposed a lot of businesses that had issues, you know, because now it's even harder to do what you need to do to get things done. Exposed a lot of those companies. It's actually bolstered other businesses. Other businesses are doing amazing right now. And then conversely, like in Arizona, our company, like, we're having record months. And then if we were in Nevada, we'd be going out of business maybe. So it's strange.
It's been
for
region
everybody.
by region, then state by state, honestly.
Region by region, and depending on what your local government is actually doing, you know, dramatically impacts your ability to stay in business and operate.
And what do you anticipate, or what do you see post COVID? Like how companies going to adjust, adapt?
Post COVID, you know, there's not going to be back to normal. It's a new normal. So, you know, definitely the extra sanitation protocols that every company is going to have to be doing and aware of. If you're a dispensary owner, you know, changing your flow of traffic of how many people can be in your dispensary at any one time, having to augment and put up plexiglass everywhere. I mean, there's a lot of things to do for a lot of companies. And without the support of the federal government, to be able to apply for any of these funds that a lot of other businesses are able to get, I mean, it's the nail on the coffin for a lot of companies.
It's trying times. So
yeah, totally.
Hopefully that you know, companies learn to adapt, adjust during these times, and are still able to sustain their businesses, their teams, and move forward once we're past COVID.
Well, the good thing about the cannabis industry is we are nimble and resilient, because we've had to do things like this the entire time. It's not like this is new. You know, we're having struggles. Yeah. You know, the struggle is real.
Of course. No, you said it best. For anybody that might just recently be joining us, I'm Anil Mall with the Canadian Securities Exchange, and I'm sitting here virtually talking to Carl Sailing. Carl is the founder and CEO of Hollister Cannabis, and I did turn the comment section off just because it was getting a little distracting, but there is still a comment box. I would highly suggest that you type your comments in there. I will still try to get through them towards the end, but it was just a little distracting towards just on the screen. So I wanted to turn those off so we can concentrate on our talk. So I apologize to the people submitting the content, the comments. We'll still get to them. Just put them into the actual comment box section so I have a chance to sort through them. So
Hollister's a very followed stock right now.
It's a followed stock. I mean, I can't, I don't blame you, is what I should say. You guys have great products, good branding. Talk to us a little bit about the branding and your team that comes up with some of your brands, the packaging and stuff like that.
Yeah, a good amount of them have come from myself and my wife.
Okay.
You know, the name HashBone. Just a little backstory on that. I'm from the East Coast. I grew up in New Jersey. And when we would go and smoke cannabis, we would say, let's go smoke a bone. And I'm sitting there kind of half asleep on my chair thinking about what am I going to name this new product that I want to create? And it just came together, HashBone. And then I was thinking, you know, how about the logo? Have it look more like the, you know, the bubble letters and kind of fun and have a great feel to it. And that's, you know, that's kind of how it goes.
No, it's perfect. You got to send us the CSE team some of those HashBone hats.
Of course, of course.
I mean, if you do, I won't say no, and I will definitely wear it. You guys,
I would hope so. Actually, if I send you one, you better wear it.
Oh no, I will. I will 100% wear it, and I'll send you a photo of it. You guys have elections coming up. How crucial are those?
Very crucial. But you know, both sides aren't. I mean, they're kind of wishy-washy on their stance on cannabis.
Well, that's what I meant. Is how crucial is it for that sector? And you're
I mean, you know what? I mean, if it stays this, like, you know, the Safe Banking Act is kind of hidden in the next COVID relief bill. If that passes, that's enough for now. I think that would dramatically change things for us. And then if we could get some sort of 280E reform, you know, which is the tax clause.
Thank you for
Sorry,
to let us know what that is.
So 280E is a clause or whatever you call it from the IRS that basically states that if you're selling cannabis or any Schedule I drug, that you can't write off any of your SG&A, so you're taxed on cost of goods. So your net effective tax is like 50% or more. It's pretty hard, and especially if you're in the retail sector, because that's all you do is you touch and sell cannabis. You're not growing it or making it. Yeah. So you can't write any of that stuff off. So it's super hard to do business. So if Safe Banking Act and that can get resolved, then it can stay the way it is for a little while longer, allow us and some other companies to kind of bolster up, their facilities to get ready for something that would be national.
My next question was actually, if you had to pick one, what would you like to see? Access to banking or legislation, legalization federally? But I think you've answered that in your previous question.
Yeah, banking, federal legalization would open the door for very large companies, I think. And we're not there yet. We will be one of those at some point, but today we're not. So it would be great to kind of pause that for a minute and allow us to catch up.
I'm just going to quickly check here and see if there's any questions or anything like that I can go through, but I don't see anything submitted by the guys. Why don't I let you have the floor for a bit? Why don't you talk to the audience about, your messaging for Hollister, what is coming up next, and what kind of you want to let your people know?
Yeah, so, keep on the lookout for some more collaborations like what we've done with Tommy Chong. I'm a big rock and roll kind of metal guy, and I want to affect a change in cannabis so that way, instead of it being all rap and hip hop, that there's more attention made towards rock and roll and heavy metal. There's still a lot of those artists still use and need cannabis as part of their daily lives to survive, and I want to bring that about. So we have some pretty high profile names that we're going to start doing deals with, relatively soon.
Interesting.
And then kind of the same philosophy when it comes to our delivery brand. We'll be, bringing in some high profile people as well to help, drive that forward. Also look for us to be bringing Venom into California and then Hollister into Arizona. So the cool thing about that acquisition, we complement each other. Because we really don't make extracts like they do, and they don't do any really of the other products that we make. So it's not like there's a duplication of efforts. It's a total synergy, and it's going to just help both sides.
Seems like a great partnership.
It's an awesome partnership. We're just driving that business forward every single day. Super happy about that. And I don't know, do you want to read some of those comments or questions?
I'm going to try to
answer someone
right now. Just bear with me. So there's, I'm only going to stick to the ones that are relative to us. There's a couple of funny ones in here, but we'll leave those alone. There was a question about the timeline for the Nevada rollout for Venom and Hollister brands. I think you covered that in the topic, but maybe you want to give a summary to.
Yeah, so pre-COVID, we were moving forward into the Las Vegas market. After COVID, we need to pause and really analyze that because they're down 50% or more. I don't know when they're going to come back, and it doesn't make sense to spend dollars there right now. It makes more sense to spend our dollars in California and Arizona, where we already have distribution, and we'll be able to make a sizable impact versus having to build a brand new company, basically brand new brands to the Nevada market in a depressed market.
Interesting. I hope that answers your question. There's another one looking for an update on the tactical relief deals and the Easy Rider.
Yeah, so I'm still working through those. Tactical relief, super excited about that project. My wife is a veteran, and giving back to veterans and creating products that can help veterans is very important to us. So that's going to hopefully be happening here soon. COVID's delayed everything for everybody, really. I hate to keep using that, but that's just the fact. It's pushed some things out, months.
I'm just a bit curious. Can you talk to us a little bit about this tactical relief?
Yeah. So the tactical relief, it is going to be a 20-to-1 high CBD product, targeted to vets with PTSD. Yeah. It will have THC in it as well. I believe that you need THC as well as CBD. Just CBD alone, for me personally, doesn't give me the effects that I'm looking for. And that's also been reported out there as well, that it's like the entourage effect. You need more than just CBD have the impact that it can. So that's what we're doing.
I agree with you on that. There's a lot of people within the community that are on the other side of the fence with that.
Yeah, and that I do know, but I mean, I can only talk for me personally.
Yeah, no.
And I'm a personal consumer of cannabis, CBD, all of it. And CBD alone makes me feel weird. So I feel a lot better with a slice of THC in it.
I think there's a lot of people that agree with you that I've been in contact with or talked to about CBD or they've told me about their experiences with it. I completely agree with you that having tiny little bit of THC in there definitely helps balance it all out for people, and they definitely can tell the effects a lot better.
Yeah.
We've got one here from Gabriel from Questrade. He wants to know if there's any challenges that you have found in banking and repatriating to the U.S. and global payments. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, so we're not doing global payments. Banking is challenging in cannabis.
Enough, yeah.
And it's state by state. So we have to have different banks in California than we do in Arizona. I think Steve from Harvest kind of mentioned that too.
Yes.
So it's the same. There are some banks coming along that are willing to work with cannabis. Hemp is easier, so if it was just a purely hemp business, banking is a lot easier. But we don't do anything globally really at the moment.
Fair enough. A lot of comments about the HashBone hat. People seem to like it.
Awesome.
I
That's great.
won't get into each one of them.
We should have a contest and give a couple away.
We should have a contest and give a couple away. Sure. Why don't? How would you like to do that? You want to just pick one of the people that are on here?
Yeah, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can see them. Oh, here we go.
Well,
does Carl sleep with that HashBone hat on?
Uppercut seems to have a lot of questions. So.
Left uppercut. I'm new to this live thing. I didn't see him. Now I see him. So I do sleep with my HashBone hat on, and I'll give you either a black one or we have a purple one. Which one would you prefer? Left uppercut.
There you go. Left uppercut for taking part in this. You get to. That was the guy that James J Black is James Black. He's our VP of Listings Development out of Toronto. So. We'll let Left Uppercut coordinate with you offline onto when how he wants the hat delivered or which color, or he can get in touch with us direct messaging after. You guys also announced another acquisition out of the cannabis space, but still kind of related, Alpha Mind Brands. You want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was a very cool acquisition. It's in the psilocybin space or medicinal mushrooms, and we have a great lead doctor who's part of the company, Dr. Nikos, and his job is really to help propel the research for using psilocybin in treatment for different issues. And the company's kind of on two paths at the same time. So we've got the psilocybin medicinal mushrooms. That's the future coming down the line. There's really no way to sell those and make products out of that yet. Some states and some cities are starting to decriminalize, and I feel that that's going to open up. But what's also exciting is they have a line of medicinal mushrooms like reishi and lion's mane and some other cool formulas that we're going to start marketing direct to consumer relatively soon. So that gives us entry into the space. We can generate some revenue, and while we're going down the path of all the research.
And those mushrooms that you mentioned, they are not the psychedelic ones, obviously, but they've been used in Eastern medicine for centuries.
Thousands of years.
Yeah,
centuries.
Years, right? So a lot of people don't know that these products have been around and they've been used for health benefits and other benefits. But it's interesting to see that you guys have taken that leap and kind of got into that. What made you guys make that move and shift, or not really shift, but also have sort of another focus other than cannabis?
I mean, it's really kind of a compliment. It's in the same kind of, I mean, you can kind of put them together in a higher level kind of picture. It's in the same realm. I mean, it's a natural product that's, you know, hopefully helping people and has shown benefit to help people with many different ailments. From, you know, cannabis, microdosing to large doses, and psilocybin is really focused on the microdosing aspect of it. So it all kind of goes together, and then it plays well with our hemp business as well. You know, we're building a centralized e-commerce platform for our B2C business, and it just falls right in line with that very nicely.
That's the e-commerce platform that you were talking about. That'll take stuff directly to consumer.
Right. So for our Rebel Hemp company, our Alpha Mind brand, and any other non-cannabis business that we have will, you know, be utilizing this e-commerce engine.
There's been a lot of talk about the psychedelic space, whether it's, you know, ayahuasca, DMT, all the other stuff, mushrooms, LSD, you name it. It's a little interesting because, you know, even 5 to 10 years ago, we would never think that we'd be sitting here on a CSE platform talking about psychedelics.
I know it's crazy.
What are your thoughts on this sector? Obviously, you guys are invested in it. You're ahead of the curve as well when it comes to looking at companies within it. For people that might not understand it, do you want to give us a little bit of an overview how this whole thing came about?
I mean, I'm not the scientist or the doctor, but, you know, psilocybin has been proven to help people on a microdose level with many different things: PTSD, anxiety issues, anger issues, lots of different things. You know, it unlocks something in your brain. You know, I'm not 100% sure how it all works, but I know that it fits in our ethos of, you know, helping people. And that's important. And, you know, cannabis helps people with PTSD, and psilocybin does. So imagine, you know, a veteran with really heavy PTSD that's been through some stuff, where we can then, he can go and get some cannabis and some psilocybin in a, you know, measured dose product that's been proven to help what he has. I mean, and instead of doing all these other drugs that have totally ruined people's lives, I mean, I get goosebumps thinking about it, you know, what the future is going to be.
Yeah, no, totally. I'm quite excited. I think you guys will be participating, and Dr. Nikos will be part of it as well. We're going to be hosting coming up in the next few weeks some stuff around the psychedelic space, investing in it, as well as just learning about what the benefits are and what that whole industry is about. So it's going to be coming up. We are almost at the top of the hour. And we'll start to wrap it up, but there is a question from New Media Boss. I know you mentioned that you love heavy metal music and rock and roll. So Metallica or Megadeth? And this is from New
that's
Media
a hard
Boss.
question. I mean, I like them both.
What's your favorite band right now, or go-to?
I'm really into Lamb of God right now.
Lamb of God. I've heard
Lamb of God. Pantera, which is old school. Iron Maiden. I've been to probably 30 Iron Maiden shows.
Oh, wow.
I'm so bummed about live music. I mean, so music is important to me. I mean, it's inside me, right? So I miss live music big time, because that's something that I love.
No, I hear you. I'm big on music too. Not definitely heavy metal and rock and roll, but music's a big part of everything I do. So it's like right now not being able to go listen to those things, and it's been tough. But even when things do change around, I don't think I want to be the first guy out at the bar listening to a band.
No. Like, have you seen the guys doing the Norwegian kind of drive-in concerts?
I have not.
Where they have it at a drive-in theater and everybody drives in. So that would be a great spot for a metal show, because you're in a metal car at a drive-in.
Bring some pots and pans of metal.
Yeah.
Make some noise. So now that you broke it down, I did see something similar, but it was, I think, some DJs or something that were somewhere in Europe, and this whole parking lot filled with cars honking and playing with their blinkers. So it was pretty funny. There's one question that was it was asking us to talk about some of this stuff around Alpha Mind, but which we already went through. Now, where can people from the audience find out more details on Hollister, your partners, some of the stuff that you guys are working on in the coming months and years?
Yeah, great. The best spot is our website, HollisterCannabisCo.com. You can also find us on Instagram at Hollister Cannabis Co. Also, Facebook, Hollister Canna is the handle there. We're on Twitter as well. That's the best place to find more info. You can sign up for our investor deck and to get notifications on any new releases that we have, anything like that.
Awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to kind of end off talking to our audience? I'm going to leave the floor with you so you can kind of put out a message.
Well, I would really like to thank you, Anil, and the CSE, you know, for providing this platform for us. I think it's amazing that, you know, U.S.-based cannabis companies have a platform to be in the public markets and build businesses like the public markets allow us to do. So thank you very much for that. I'd also like to thank everyone that's watching this right now. Really appreciate you. All the shareholders, really appreciate you. And I'm just here to do a great job for everybody.
Well, we hope that, you know, you continue on with your success along with your team. I want to thank you for your time to come on here and chat with us a little bit. You know, obviously we met, like I said earlier in the call, San Jose, Vegas, now virtually. So I truly appreciate you taking the time every time I see you to have a conversation and talk to us. You know, Left Uppercut, I want to thank you for your participation. You can either reach out to Hollister Brands through their website or reach out to us and we'll coordinate it with them. Congrats on winning the hat and for some really good questions. I want to thank the Canadian Securities Exchange for providing us this platform once again. To the audience members, if you do like the content we are providing and putting out there, check out our YouTube channel at CSE TV. You'll find all our Instagram live interviews, any of our #finance podcasts, as well as all of our other content from different conferences that we attend and talks with different thought leaders and centers of influence within the cannabis and other sectors as well. Carl, I hope you, your family, and your team stay safe, healthy, and happy. And I look forward to when we can have you back again post-COVID, talk a little bit more about, you know, the successes with the Tommy Chong brand, Venom Extracts, and a lot of the other stuff that you guys are working on.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. It was great seeing you, and stay safe and wash your hands.
Wash your hands, people. Don't forget, 20 seconds or more. Thanks again, guys.